You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming. Something mounts to the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Minotaur Hotel. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. They pick up on Luke taking meals to the guests, and like children imitating an esteemed adult, they do the same. Okay. Napkins, salt shakers, cutlery, even candy from the bowl behind the bar counter is snatched up and handed out with artless insistence to the guests. The chubby one approaches a couple with a pair of spoons and gives them a pouting frown until they make their best attempt at eating their main course with the preferred utensils. The darker Cobalt makes sure everyone has a clean napkin, while the lighter one struggles with the notion that coffee-flavored candy, that heaven-sent blessing bestowed only upon the most worthy, is an inadequate appetizer. In due time, you two are graced with a spoon and expected to use it, despite not yet having a meal. How do you accept this gift? Graciously, gratefully. As much as your sitting position will allow, you bow down to the kind server, which is met with an austere nod from the lizard. You do note, however, that the Cobalt is holding the spoon by the wrong end, and there's no telling when he last washed his hands. You pretend to stir your water with it. He cannot uncover your charade. He's too short to see what's happening on the table. Thank you, that's very kind of you. The lizard puffs up his chest as though he could swallow your words and grow fat on praise alone. What a gracious little fellow. Let me see, what does he do enthusiastically? As much as your sitting position will allow, okay. You do note, however, that Cobalt is holding the spoon in the wrong, okay. Okay, so it doesn't seem to, okay. Alright. Ah, okay. Okay, so there's no difference. Why is there a choice? May I ask your name? Eep! He recoils and cowers before looking inward, to the core of his soul for the strength to face your inquiry. He takes a step forward and makes the truth of his being known to thee. Gruggy! Gruggy, now that's quite a name. Oh, Jesus. Strong and firm like a warrior's. It's quite befitting of an honorable knight. It betrays a wealth of wisdom within you. What would one expect of a fine scholar? Truly a fitting name for a handsome fellow such as you. Go with that. Gruggy beams at your stream of compliments. What a pleasure it is to have one's talents recognized. Now, if you'd be so kind, could you tell me your friends' names? They're Zepeto and Nono. They're my brothers. I see. All of you do share the same fierce look. There's no doubt about it. Mighty blood flows in your lineage. Wouldn't you say so, Asterion? The Minotaur is too focused on the internet's unfathomable wisdom to respond. Well, as you may have guessed, my buddy is called Asterion, and I'm Alexios. It's nice to make your acquaintance, Gruggy. Allow me to show you a magic trick, as just reward for your efforts. You cup your hands together and hum the song Asterion taught you. The hotel groans ever so slightly as you issue your command, letting your hands overflow with wealth. There you go. Your sorcery is too great for the little lizard's mind. He shields his eyes from your grace and cowers. When the lights return, your hands are overflowing with riches. 7 opals, 6 rubies, 5 chunks of lapis lazuli, 4 sapphires, 3 emeralds, 2 jade stones, and 1 diamond, all on a bed of lesser metals. So it is true, then. Sorcerers do exist, and their kind souls appreciate the servitude of even a lonely Cobalt. Gruggy is now witness to the Minoan mystery. He swipes away the worthless crystals and pockets instead the true treasures, the copper, iron, bronze, and forever valuable pyrite. Scree! And then he runs off, leaving behind only the pitter-patter of his grubby feet and the pile of gemstones in your hand. Oh well. You hum and summon a glass cup where you can put the crystals. I'll make a nice decoration for this table. By the 12, you have grown quite familiar with your powers and duties. You taught me well. Only the powers, the duties in the hotel's mission. Those you have cultivated yourself. What can I say? I enjoy it. Giving home to those who are lost is a worthwhile goal. You, of course, are chief among them. This armband, by my honor, I'll make sure no villain will bring harm to my partner. The Minotaur takes one of the crystals, a lapis lazuli, and examines its surface. Such a honeyed tongue. You're only saying this to bring my guard down. As soon as you have the chance, you will strike. Ah, but as we've discussed, I don't have it in me to do so. Besides, what could I stand to gain? Don't I have enough precious gemstones as it is? Then it must be the knowledge you seek. You'll demand that I deliver unto you all the secrets of the gods. If only. I'm afraid I have little interest in meddling with the Olympians. I've had more than enough already. Are you... Oh, are you sure? Are there no questions stuck in your throat? Perhaps about, let us say, life after death? You do have a point. It's only human to be curious, especially about that. Indeed. Well, what I can say, the realm of Hades. Wait, you're just giving out your divine secrets just like that? Was I supposed to gain your trust and bring your guard down first? Perhaps you already have. At long last, my honeyed tongue brings me blessings. By all means, proceed. The realm of Hades was quite enjoyable, my lord. Forgive me, Alexios. It is just that thinking back to Hades gives my chest a faint ache. How can I help but speak with all of my reverence? The Christians must think of Hades like a hell of fire and brimstone, but that is not the case, at least not as far as I witnessed and what little I saw of it. The heroic and righteous were granted a place in the Elysian fields, an island where they could enjoy an existence without toil and blessed with all sorts of graces. Most mortals were sent to the Asphodel Meadows, as was I, seeing as I had little to no heroic qualities. There we existed in much the same ways we lived, although it took the chance to reinvent myself. I spent no more than 3 years in Hades. In that little time, however, I climbed all the way from Border Patrol to serving under Lord Hades and Lady Persephone in their royal guard. I forget what the fuck happens to you if you die in Hades, though. I'm not sure. Maybe you just reconstitute? Lord Hades would often call for me to serve as his sparring partner. We had many sporting fights, and that's how I learned of the chthonic fighting style. He was a somber god, a soft-spoken man, tasked with a heavy burden. But he was never fair, unfair, or unkind, and he led by example first and foremost. The living had no liking for him, but among the dead he was a cherished monarch. And Lady Persephone, the underworld's joy, was worshipped for all the gifts she provided to the living. I see. Were you ever treated differently for being a Minotaur? Oh, the answer to that question may surprise you, my lord. Sorry, Alexios. For a moment there I felt so young. In any case, to answer your question, Lord Hades held quite a liking towards some of my ancestors. Some would even joke that he favored me because of my bullish features. I cannot know if he ever did in truth, but regardless, I enjoyed my time in his service. I see. That's not how most people would imagine Hades being like. Any new experience can seem quite frightful and daunting. For the living, death is the newest and most unknown. It makes sense to fear it, even if it is not so much to fear. That's true. I suppose it's comforting in a way, knowing what the great beyond will be like. I am not sure that it will be the same experience for you, Alexios. I was told that different people go to different realms depending on who they worshipped in life. And what happens to those who are agnostic or atheist? I do not know. The specifics weren't ever laid out in full to me, or anyone I knew. It was not exactly relevant to us. I see. Well, that's already a lot more than I expected to know about any afterlife. I'm glad you shared that with me. You're quite talkative tonight. Am I? I was reminiscing just now while reading, which must have loosened my tongue a little. Would you believe I found a number of old texts in ancient Greek? These new languages are tricky for me. Meanwhile, reading ancient Greek is quite comforting. I cannot find anything in Minoan, however. It is a pity. As far as I know, the Minoan language was lost ages ago. It would be extremely difficult to find any surviving text, or anyone who would know how to read it in the first place. But I am here. I still remember it. Master, Alexios, please sate my curiosity. The internet allows for things to be sent, correct? If there is there a way for me to send them my language? I'm afraid that's not really how it works. You don't have translation magic outside. We can't just send a whole language over. But if you still remember it well enough, you could try writing it down. Grammar, syntax, vocabulary. Tell others how to read it. I'm sure we could get it out there later. There's a lot of people who would be grateful to have the Minoan language decoded. The Minotaur looks down to the tablet and flicks his ears. The screen shows a growing library of e-books. That would be quite enjoyable. Long has it been since I have given much thought to my native tongue. I could even try to recall my old poems. I wrote a few of them in Minoan. You write poetry? I used to, a bit here and there over the centuries as the muses inspired. Nothing significant, however. Hey, don't undersell yourself. Knowing you, I'm sure they must have been good. If you remember any, do you think you could let me read them? Moo. Is that a no? No. I mean, no, it isn't a no. So many were just extemporaneous as the muses moved. It never even occurred to me to write most of them down, or to save them when I did. If I recall any poems, I suppose allowing you to read them would be acceptable. But my duties to the hotel come first. I should not allow this to become a distraction. Well, you can do it during your time off, or if there's a gap in the schedule where we don't need you don't need you down in the bedrock. How about that? Very well. When I am not required for research, instead I'll work on this. That said, I hope you don't intend on giving me time off just to appease this silly diversion, Alexios. If you do, then Coda and Luke will have to carry my burden. Me? Giving you time off? I'd never. My job is making you work, isn't it? In the name of your mission, of course. Name of our mission, of course. He looks at you, examining your every feature. The jollity and ease of your bearing, the accent in your tone of voice, the signs and assurances of kidding around, and the curiosity in your eyes, the crescent of your smile, and the armband, too. He sees you. In the name of our mission. You can now work on Asterion's project. You can select this activity in the daily agenda screen when Asterion is not busy with the R&D team. Okay. Yeah. Work on Asterion's project. Let's see, manage teams. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Alright. Alright, that should work. Work on Asterion's project. Your plan for the day is I'll work with Asterion on this project. Okay. Right. Confirm plan. And planning, yes. Alright. You allow Asterion and yourself a day off to work on his project. So, if I recall, you wanted to help decipher your Minoan language and share it with the world? Asterion shifts left and then right, his tail and ears following along. Yes, that would mean a lot to me. I used the internet to look it up. The Minoan language has been lost to time, but fragments of Cretan writing still exist in clay and stone tablets, ceramics, and decorations found in Greece and Turkey. Archaeologists and linguists have classified their findings into 3 distinct writing systems. The oldest one is what they call Cretan hieroglyphs. Sadly, I am not familiar with this writing system. I recognize some of the symbols, but I never learned to actually read them. There were 2 systems after that, which they call Linear A and Linear B. The latter is partially decoded, but it is not too recent for me. I was not taught how to read it. What they call Linear A, that is one I can read and translate. Actually, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that notification bell. And check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to have a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Katie Silver, and thank you going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to our 3 gold tier patrons, Zeke, Toby, and Blue Wolf Alpha. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if you want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our non-safe for work contents as little as $5. If y'all don't want to donate to our Patreon, you can also donate using Super Thanks on YouTube. Anyway, I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!